What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Nothing But Footy channel. I'm here with Will, and we got Sharky off the camera. Obviously, you can't, I don't know why you're putting your hand up, no one can see you.
Can they not say on the camera?
No, they can't see him.
We'll give him a g'day.
G'day.
Jeez, mate, don't be too
More
interested.
excitement.
Don't be too interested.
So how was your weekend, Will?
Yeah, it was good. Didn't get up to too much. Played footy, watched footy basically. And that was about it.
pretty
Yourself?
exciting.
What did you get up to?
Basically everything you listed. I pretty much did the same thing as you.
Yeah.
We don't really do anything not the same on the weekend.
Good weekend. This weekend coming up though.
Yes, it is, yeah. Long
Should be.
weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
Excited for Monday's game.
maybe we might get out a little cheeky episode maybe as well
Yeah,
on the
could
weekend
do.
if we
Oh,
are up
that could
for
be
it. I don't know.
huge.
I'm just thinking on the spot. We're
Yeah.
there. We may as well.
Sharky doesn't look too excited, but he might have to change his plans. we could get him going though.
But obviously we're in a new environment as last week we're in a nice little room and then now we're in a lounge room.
Couldn't book it out, eh?
No, the producer didn't really do his job. But before we get into the football news, I guess this is football news, but we've got our first ever unboxing.
Wowza.
So I signed
Fan mail.
myself up a fan mail, yeah, fan mail from Tasmania. So I signed myself as a Tasmanian member. It was $10, and I finally got my membership pack. So I thought, why not unbox it on the pod?
Fucking oath.
So let's get into it. You might have to do some talking while. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I'll do the commentary. So he's currently opening up the thing. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're on the Spotify's. Here he goes. This is the Tasmanian. He's got the envelope going. Open up the envelope. Oh, he's got. It's just a sticker of the Devils.
Just a sticker that says founding member. That's it.
How many people ended up signing up for him?
I don't know. What's it done? I think there was
Maybe.
about 100k.
Yeah, it was over 100k. Was it over 200?
Oh, I don't know about 200. There is one thing that defines this team. People, unwavering people, proud people, our people. People who spent a century always kicking into the wild until today when the team we were told would never ever happen roars to life. And while the players aren't here yet, we are. And just a bit more ramble.
The inbreds.
But I'm actually quite let
They're
down.
here.
I'm very let down by this.
150,000. Far out.
I'm very let down by this, to be
But
honest.
to be fair, they did have to send out 150,000.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon that costed them to make that one thing? And the
Like
sticker. and the
$3.
sticker.
Not
$3
even.
plus the sticker?
Oh, actually, you know what? No, 'cause they probably bulk made the stickers. So probably like all the stickers. I reckon, maybe 100 stickers probably only cost them like $10. The cardboard can't be that expensive, surely.
I'd say it would cost them about $1 to make one of those envelopes plus
Yeah.
the sticker.
So yeah,
Maybe $1 for shipping.
they have enough. They would have made enough money to
Profiting
build their own
$8.
stadium.
Yeah, easily.
But yeah, I'm very let down by what that was. So, not the way I wanted to start the podcast.
It's a classic inbred way to, make
just-
an envelope,
That
eh?
just sucked, really, if I'm being honest.
That's all right. At least you got the sticker. Do you reckon you're chucking on the car or what are you chucking on?
I'm not putting on the car because I'm still a Saints fan. So it's like,
Yeah, that'd be a
I
bit
don't know. I
weird.
kind of just did it because I just, if
$10.
yeah,
it's
$10.
cheap,
Say you were a founding member.
Did you really want the
good.
sticker though, or did you just?
I just wanted to say that I was a member, really.
Exactly. So I
from the
guess it's a
start.
bit of a benefit over the top.
Yeah, true. I think I also get discount on the jersey as well. So if I ever want to buy the jersey, I can get a discount on the jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did hear about that as well.
All right. Well, that
Imagine
was
you only save $10, so it's just like even anyways.
it's like 10% off or
yeah,
whatever.
literally, yeah. You save less than 10, so you're just not profiting.
But that was a bit of a letdown. But whatever. We move on into something that is not a letdown. Is Willy's Wonkers.
We're starting off with some general AFL talk. Or we're going
yes.
with Willy
Sorry,
Wonkers?
I've messed it up there. That is my bad. Sorry.
It's all right. I think we might have some breaking news. Actually,
We might.
I think if Sharky moves that tab over to the other tab,
Oh, has something just
we
come
might
through?
have some Harley Reid news.
Oh, this is some live.
So this is some live news coming out that Keon was looking at before we came. And it is
Has this got some update?
compared to 4 dangerous tackles by other players. The impact of his tackle ought to be classified as medium rather than high. He pointed to other matters, including the fact that Wilson was uninjured in the tackle, got up quickly, his arms were not pinned, and parts of his body made contact with the ground before his head hit the ground.
So they come to an answer yet?
I'm not
Or are
too
we still?
sure.
We are
Hold
satisfied
on.
that the
His
rough
arms were
contact.
free. He was thrown backwards in the force. The AFL's description of the tackle has involved lifting, upending, and slinging is accurate.
So what? By the sounds of it, it sounds like they're just.
Harley Reid's two-match ban has been upheld. He will
Yeah,
miss
okay,
against
yeah.
North, Melbourne, and Essendon plus the bye.
Yeah, so it's technically 3 weeks because they
Yeah,
it's North, then the bye,
and then another
Essendon.
round. Yeah. Wow. So
Yeah.
not even lowered down to medium.
Oh, I mean, we can talk about it now because we're talking about
Yeah,
it. But
general AFL talk.
I think there was definitely danger in it.
He's very lucky
Was
that
it?
Darcy Wilson
Yes.
wasn't injured.
Yeah, well, that's just heavy. You concuss like his head pretty much hit the ground first.
I don't know how he wasn't injured, if I'm honest.
I think the adrenaline rush maybe. But I mean, he was cut from all concussion protocols.
And I know, we all love Harley Reid, and God, it just seems like such a scam that he doesn't win it. But if Darcy Wilson gets injured there, that's a 4-week ban easily. So a 2-week ban probably does need to get upheld.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 weeks or 4 weeks, definitely not 1 week. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. You also you got to forget about the part that it's Harley Reid. I think that's also something that everyone was
Hard
like,
to do.
Like it's Harley Reid. Like you can't suspend him. Like this is the boy. But now it also means he's rising star no more. So on the weekend we lost Harley Reid and Sam Darcy, and funnily enough, Harley Reid's probably got himself lost it to the bloke who probably is going to win it.
Yep.
I think
spot on.
Darcy Wilson.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
From-
Darcy Wilson's probably the only one putting
Yeah.
out banning contention right now.
Yeah, I think
Well, you could say Windsor, but he's too inconsistent.
George Wardlaw, but he's a second-year player. And I do think Wilson's going to probably become a bit better as well back end of the season, give him more opportunity because the Saints suck. So
See, I do think as well that if you got rid of, not even people love Harley Reid, but if you got rid of the fact that if you could still win the Rising Star after this tackle, no one would care.
yeah,
Everyone would probably be voting for a 4-week ban. It does have to do with Harley, and everyone loves Harley, but it's more so the fact that he doesn't get to win the Rising Star anymore. What do you think about that?
yeah.
I did hear some discussions over it, which I wanted to chime in a little bit on. But what do you think of them not being able to win?
I think
Rising
it's
Star
a little bit
anymore?
bullshit because I did learn something else, but I think that as a rising star, it doesn't matter if you're the fairest. It just matters if you are the best.
That's what I was about to say.
Like he's going to end up playing, let's say, 20 games for the season and average maybe let's say a goal and a half a game, 20 touches.
Yep.
And I love Darcy Wilson, but Darcy Wilson is not at the level where Harley Reid is. And Darcy Wilson, let's say he does win it, isn't as good as... And you're going to look back at it and you're going to go, let's say Harley Reid goes on to win 3 Brownlows. He's going to be known as the bloke who should have won the Rising Star but didn't.
And it's like, Darcy Wilson's not a 19-year-old getting tagged at halftime.
Yeah, exactly.
By a full-on midfielder that plays 100% mid. This isn't no McGuinness only in the side to tag thing. This is... Winhager's got a role in the team minus the tagging. He's not just a tagger. So Darcy Wilson's obviously not there. And it's a shame because you look at it and you go, in 10, 15 years, you're not going to look, oh, that's the Darcy Wilson tagger. You're going to be like, what the fuck? Harley Reid didn't win the Rising Star.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then people will think, oh, you shit, he didn't even win the Rising Star. Or they'll uptake Darcy Wilson's career because he did win the Rising Star. Might end up him being a bust if he ends up not playing in a couple or like 5-10 years. And it's like, as you said, which is what I was about to bring up, the Brownlow is the fairest and the best, which I learned. They've got so obviously best and fairest is best and then fairest.
Well, no. I learned that apparently club best and fairest, you don't have to, even if you do get suspended.
Yeah, but...
which is stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's stupid, right? But the club best and fairest, in the description, it says the best and then the fairest.
Yeah.
But then in Brownlow, they've got fairest and
then
best.
the best.
Rising Star has nothing to do with being fair. It's just who is the best young player in the AFL? And if they can win the best... Oh, my God. Sharky has screwed up the...
What are you doing?
He has screwed up the laptop and he doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm just going to keep talking about Harley Reid. If you can win, it's the best player on the field in.
This is an idiot.
It's
Why
every
did
week.
he
He actually cannot get it. He has to get one thing wrong each week. It's
Only
either the
like 10 minutes
soundboard. It's always at the start though. He's good for 50 minutes and he's just.
Oh.
Well, it depends how long the episode goes for.
I don't think we've had an episode with him go under an hour.
No, I mean 50 minutes out of like an hour. He hasn't touched Instagram Reels yet.
That is
though,
true.
so
No Instagram Reels yet. He's
He's
looking for.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
he's nothing on
looking
his
for
phone.
He was thinking about that before, wasn't he?
But yeah, Brownlow. Yeah, I like touch on what you're saying. Brownlow is the fairest, but then I question with how easily you can get suspended now. Do you take that out of the Brownlow?
I completely agree. And this bloke has gone onto YouTube Shorts on the computer, on the projector. What are you doing, mate? Anyways,
Oh god.
I completely agree. It's so easy to get suspended nowadays. It's almost like an injury in some ways. And you also got to look at it from the perspective if you can go out for 2 weeks
And still win it.
and still win it, it ruins the effect of the Brownlow. But I can understand it if it's the Brownlow is the fairest and the best. So I guess there's a little bit of that you can partake. But then the AFL comes out and makes these rules saying we can't judge on fairness. We can't judge on fairness, but we're judging the players on fairness. But then you can win a best and fairest
Yeah.
without being the fairest.
Well, I just wonder. It might not happen this year, but at some stage, are we going to have a situation where the top 2 who come first in the Brownlow got suspended for at least maybe one game, both of them for the season, and the third bloke who was 5 votes behind ends up winning, and I don't know, someone like Christian Petrarca wins the Brownlow, but the Bont doesn't because he got a one. Like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's like, realistically, you could name the Brownlow whatever you want, and you can talk about its history. It is the best player in the AFL.
yes,
No one's going, give him the 3. He was the fairest in this game. It was, Bond had 38 disposals and 2 goals. Give him the 3.
yeah.
Bond could have got suspended in that game. Give him the 3, regardless. There's been games like that where they get suspended and
Well, I
poor
wonder.
votes.
Do you reckon umpires take into account? So, like, let's say Bont, he had his 38 and 2. But let's say he did the Sam Darcy thing, and it was Bont
I don't
instead of
think so.
Sam Darcy. Do you reckon the umpires take that into account?
I actually don't. I think they probably get forced it. But I think if you removed any sort of like, hey, by the way, Bond did this tackle in the second that he'll get suspended for, they're giving him the 3 votes.
Yeah.
When they look at 3 votes, they don't go, oh, who shook the player's hands at the end of the game? They go, Bond had 38 and 3. Yeah. I could see that. I counted every single disposal.
Yeah.
It was the umpire. And it's just ruined. And then that's what happens where, you've got your Paddy Dangerfields, your Sam Mitchells. Sorry, not Sam Mitchell, your Joe Watson. And it's like, I love Trent Cotchin. It's always Richmond players.
Yeah.
I love Trent Cotchin. I love Sam Mitchell. I love Dusty Martin. But give it to the bloke that deserves it. Because you wouldn't say that he's an unfair player because he got suspended 1 week for a dangerous tackle.
I think, if you go and punch someone Andrew Gaff style, then you deserve to not win it. But
And that's where the grey area comes in. Because then if you enforce that,
Yeah.
that suspensions don't count. It's like, how are you going to give it to a bloke that
or
just...
do you do it like if you get suspended for 2 games or less, then you're fine?
Yeah.
But
That's
then
true.
I also wonder, back on the rising star part, is that if they change it at the end of the year, then Harley Reid's kind of been robbed because they've changed the rule. So
Yeah.
it turns into the Harley Reid rule.
But I also kind of like it because it makes it put it onto the spotlight.
Yeah,
which
true.
it never would have been.
Yeah, the
on
ownership
spotlight.
becomes onto the AFL.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that because then if we have Levi Ashcroft or Jagger Smith next year come in and same thing happens to them, there might be a changing before the season. And it sucks for Raleigh, but there's got to be something that's the benchmark. And to be honest, I didn't even know that was a rule before the Harley Reid.
I
thing.
didn't know that either. Apparently some bloke, it happened 20 years ago, apparently.
Yeah. Well,
Some bloke
that's
I
out of
didn't
our
know.
time.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know who he was, but apparently...
Yeah, I think also because Harley Reid's such a prospect as well.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't help.
Yeah.
But I think that if this hadn't happened, like you can't say, oh, get rid of the rule now because you had no issue with it before because you didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
And now that it's happened, you've got a problem with it.
And the chance of what happened to Harley Reid is so it's so rare. Like I said, it hasn't happened for 20 years. So it's like it's one of those things that happens once in a blue moon type of thing, or like
the thing
so
is,
you can't really do much about it.
Yeah, and with a player like Harley Reid, shit like that's going to happen all throughout his career.
Yeah.
Not because he's a dirty player, not because he's unfair. It's because he's hard at the football. In some ways, you look at that tackle, that was the only way that Harley Reid could have stopped Darcy Wilson.
Yeah.
The way that tackle happened was the only way that he could have stopped him was through that. So I don't mind it from Harley Reid. It kind of sucks because you saw he was so flat after
Yeah.
that.
He did. I don't think he had like two
He had two
touches
touches,
in the second half.
And honestly, the tag kind of stopped. He went in the forward line, and Winhager wasn't really following him in the forward line.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything in the forward line. Went on the bench a lot. Was on the bench in the fourth. Came on, was just flat.
Yeah.
I guess he had a little bit of a spurt in the fourth when he realised, I'm not going to play footy in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that sucks, but shit happens. It was a tackle worthy of a lot more weeks if there was injury. So
Oh yeah, you concussion years. At least a month football is missing.
yeah, he got let off easy, and that's nothing to do with him being Harley Reid. I think he's just lucky that Darcy Wilson handled it so well. Maybe lucky that it was his mate.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well,
that doesn't have anything to do with it. I think it's just lucky that Wilson didn't get injured.
I mean, more so from the perspective of like, how some players throw their head back, try and make it look worse than it is.
I don't think that was a moment where you could.
Yeah,
it was such a fast
it's true.
action and like.
Yeah,
I think at that stage also you're just in protection of your body. Like Wilson would have protected his body.
yeah, it's true.
But we did see Rory Lobb play his first game since saying he wanted to leave the Dogs.
Yep.
And I think he played a fairly all right game from the perspective of mine that he played. He wasn't out there making TikToks, so that was a tick at least.
Yeah. He's one of those players that like is a good player on the AFL. He's the same player on the AFL field that he is on the VFL field. A lot of players like that, and people judge players on how they play in the VFL, but it's like he'll do the same thing for you in the AFL kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the question I have is, does he want to play bad, so the Bulldogs want to get rid of him, or does he want to play good that he's going to get a better contract?
I think it's his trade value up.
Because so like does
I don't know how many Melbourne teams will take him at a bad trade value.
But the other thing is though, he's chopping. He just moves teams. He'll go 2 years at a team. He did the exact same thing he's played at Melbourne, GWS, Freo,
played Melbourne.
Bulldogs. Yeah, I think he played Melbourne. I think he got drafted to Melbourne.
Oh right, I thought he got drafted to GWS.
He played in Melbourne, I think, or something. Oh, maybe it
was Jesse Hogan.
Oh yeah, Jesse Hogan. Played in Melbourne. Yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, I think it was Freo that he asked to leave. Yeah, he asked to leave Freo and didn't play there for like a year or something.
Yeah.
And now he's asked to leave the Bulldogs. So do you really want to take him? Like, can you trust him that much? I mean, he shouldn't be in an AFL list. Like North Melbourne would probably take him.
I would take him.
Like
Richmond would take him.
Yeah, you're not saying no to him, but you're not giving up to. I'd probably give up a third round pick. I'm not giving around a second.
I still can't believe he moved to Western Bulldogs. As a full forward, Aaron Norton, Hugo Hagen, and didn't he move there before Josh Bruce had retired as well?
Yes, he did.
Like,
and they had Tim O'Brien as well.
Yeah, like there was no chance of changing positions as well because you've got Tim English who's set in stone. Like his trade value last year was unreal.
Yeah.
Alex Keith is just someone that's always going to be there. Liam Jones is someone that's always going to be there. You look at what Bevo does to his teams. You notice how he never moves any of them. Mm-hmm. They're his stepping stones. And I think that also goes on to the Harrison Petty trade value that he had that Melbourne was so stupid to not take.
They didn't take it. 2
first rounds. What are they thinking?
Adelaide would be pretty happy that they didn't end up doing it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what Harrison Petty did to show out that he was worth 2 first rounders, but definitely not worth any of that. And Rory Lobb isn't either.
Yeah, I think he's a third rounder at best.
Yeah. And I guess maybe he can put his trade value up, but I feel like by himself as a single tall forward could have some individual success on a bad team.
I don't think he's your leading. He's your second string. I'd say he's not your key. He's not he's not your Charlie Curnow. He's your Mackay or Curnow type of player.
Which is why I feel like Richmond would probably pick him up.
Yeah,
considering we don't have any at all.
He's not a bad player, but it's just I feel like his best is pretty good, but his low's not great, and you just can't trust that he'll want to stay at your club.
He's just a role player.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's also, I don't know if he was planning on staying at Bulldogs, and now that he's playing VFL, that probably has a effect on it.
Oh, yeah, that definitely. I think. Well, he's only playing now because of
Norton's injury.
Norton's
and Norton's
injury.
not going to be long, I don't think.
I think 6 weeks or something. So he's got 6 weeks to basically prove himself.
Prove himself to stay in the side. And even then, how are they going to play three tall forwards?
Well, that's the other question I had. I was going to talk about later, but with Darcy going out missing,
Yeah, four tall forwards.
who do they bring in? Like, I feel like they're just way too tall. Even on the weekend, in that first half, they had English, Jamara, Lob, Darcy, and at times Bont. They were all going for the same mark. They had 5 blokes going for the same mark, and they were getting in the way of each other. I just feel like they're a little bit too tall.
Yeah,
because
I
when you
agree.
send Bont down there as well, Bont is a key forward. So it's
And
like
Bont is good. And when he goes and has those spells down forward, he does very well. But they're just like, it's not going to work. If you have all of them back there, you're not going to see success from Bond because everyone's in his way.
I just think they're too tall. I think that and I mean they're missing Cody Waitman at the moment as well, and Riley West has been playing good football. But like what you've got, like they a forward line that they want is Darcy, Norton, Jamara, Waitman, West, and someone
Bailey
else.
Williams.
I don't know. Yeah, Bailey Williams is just another small forward, probably a height like a Vandermeer or something like that.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're just a little bit too tall. They got one too many talls.
Yeah. Obviously, Sam Darcy is good to put in the ruck.
I think Norton's the one that would you'd play Jamara and Darcy. So everyone's been saying send Norton to the back line.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe they do that. I think
Darcy's going to be the future of tall forwards.
100%. He's
unreal.
he had that smother in the last.
And then just followed up with an
Yeah, and
absolutely
then kicked a
unreal
ripper
goal.
goal.
How about his dad's reaction?
His dad just
He's having none of it.
sitting there, just that's my kid.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, good kick, I guess.
He wouldn't be dying on the inside. It was a pretty good goal.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I like that, though. Bit less of the
Yeah.
Peter Dacos. My son's the best. How good are we? You know?
You'd like to see a bit of.
Yeah, obviously, but
Yeah, I know.
bit of a smile.
He's also been in the spotlight though. Has
yeah.
Darcy
That's
for
true.
being too much of a hothead with his dad.
Yeah. Moving on to,
Gold Coast.
yeah.
I have been pretty hot on it. I think for this whole year, coming into the preseason as well, on them making finals.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of that though?
See, I've found myself in a position where I say every week, this next week will really be a game to show if they can play finals or
I
not.
feel like this is a saying that everyone says from like round 6 to round 18.
Yeah.
It's like we just got to see one more game from them.
Yeah, it's so
It's
true.
like Essendon lost to Gold Coast, and I said this
I
will be
nearly
the
said
game
that
to
one.
tell. But honestly, we didn't really learn much because they lost by 12 points, and you kind of go, "Oh, they played an all right game of football."
Yeah,
So it's
and
like,
now I
gotta
need to
wait for
tell
next
against
week.
Carlton.
Yeah.
And the same goes with Gold Coast. Yeah, they're very good at home, but this is such a game for them to lose. This is just such a Gold Coast game. Come down to Melbourne, lose to a not very good side that they
Yep.
should be beating if you want to play finals. Not saying the Saints are bad, as in like just saying if you want to be a final side, you probably should be beating the Saints.
Yeah, they definitely got to win probably 2 in Melbourne because then they're not going to be getting a home game in the
Not a
finals
chance.
either.
Nah, not
So
a
they're going to have
chance.
to be flying. You'd say to Melbourne.
Brisbane won't be making finals, so it's not like you'd be able to play them either.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so I've been on it for a while. I think they're gonna make finals. And another interesting one is they have. This is why I've been so good on them. They have picks 4, 10, 20, and 24 this
What,
year in
this
this year's
year?
draft.
That's ridiculous.
So they pick 4, 10, 20, 24. They can get some really good players for that.
And they've got a fucking... They
got money.
as academy.
They got the academy, they got money, they got Hardwick, they got picks. Like they're going to be trading these picks. I don't think they're going to be.
I reckon they'll get more picks because I think Levi's projected number 4, isn't he?
Levi.
Levi Ashcroft. And then Brisbane's going to want Levi Ashcroft as a
true.
father-son.
So they might get a couple more. But I think they'll end up trading. like pick 4, pick 10. I'd probably say they trade with someone.
For Rory Lobb.
Try and give Rory Lobb. But that's what I reckon. 3 years they win in a premiership in 3 years because
I agree.
And Ben. And we'll talk about it
Ben
later.
Long.
But he's been pretty good as
Yeah,
well.
he has.
Yes,
You know what else has been
I'm very
very
strong
good?
on him.
Like, compared to last year, very good. Bailey Humphrey.
But the last couple of weeks,
He's been tearing it
he's
up.
been playing
He
very
looks
good.
untackleable.
He does, yeah. And his nice little sleeve tattoo.
He looks actually like a good player. Last year, I was kind of like, ugh, where does this guy come from?
Yeah.
And then this year, it's like, hold on.
I think he kicked 5 a couple of weeks ago. Then he kicked 2 on the weekend or something.
Yeah.
Gets
like,
about 15, 20 touches. So he has been doing very well.
he's one of those players that just needed to settle it in.
Yeah.
And now that he has, he's been playing some really, really good football.
Well, also, while we're talking about Gold Coast, another thing I saw. Did you watch the game on the weekend?
Yes-ish.
Our man, Bodie Uwuland, had an
He went
absolute
a
game.
Absolute game.
And you're hearing it here first. He's the rising star for this week.
Oh, is he?
He's the
He got the
rising
nomination.
star.
He
Nom.
deserved it. He was unreal.
19 touches, 13 marks, 4 intercept possessions as a small forward. He kept Jake Stringer to 1 goal. Was it
Small
1
forward?
goal? I think Jake Stringer kicked 1 goal. Is that what Jake Stringer scored?
Sort of to goal, Sharky. There you go, mate.
Stringer didn't kick a goal.
Stringer didn't kick one.
He kept Stringer to 2 behinds. So he had 19 touches,
Yeah.
13 marks. Stringer didn't. He played on Stringer the whole game.
Yeah.
He had an absolute ripper game.
Yeah, he was unreal. Him and McAndrew were
McAndrew's
stepping
something.
stones. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
like they were set in spot. They were unreal.
Yeah, he's been really good. I think he got dropped a couple of weeks ago. He played. Hardwick's put faith in him. He played some bad football. He got dropped for 1 game, put in the
Yeah.
VFL, and he's come back pretty good.
You know who else has been playing some great football after getting dropped? Alex Sexton.
He has.
Racking it up.
He's been pretty happy about Powell's suspension.
Absolutely, yeah, literally. And I wonder, Powell hasn't been playing the greatest football.
Yeah,
Before that,
does he come straight back in? Does he have to prove
Do you
himself?
keep Powell out? Do you really rob Sexton of this awesome form he's in? Are Gold Coast a better side with Powell in?
I think Powell has to come back in because what Powell brings the intercept ability.
That's true.
Like it's sort of like a Ridley role. You know what I mean? Like 20, 25 touches, but takes intercept marks. Whereas Sexton's not really going to take marks. He's
That's
just he's gonna run. So I think that's why
But then maybe
look to drop someone else. Maybe
does McAndrew and Uwuland play better when Powell's not in the side?
I'm not sure.
I wonder if it might be like a Blakey-ish situation.
Yeah,
You need some run off the half back instead of just a intercept marker.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. How many weeks? How many weeks was he
He got
suspended for?
6. I'm pretty sure he got
So
6.
He's got 2 or 3 weeks left.
Yeah, I don't know. Sharky might be able to pull
Will
that
Powell,
up.
how many weeks has he got? How many weeks? I'd assume he's got 2
Will
weeks
Powell
left.
suspension.
Plus the bye as well. So I think
They've got one next week as well,
So
yeah.
technically it's 3 weeks. But yeah, I just think Gold Coast are going to be doing pretty bloody good in the next
rounds
couple of years.
9 and 13.
So what are we round 10?
We're
So he's playing.
playing.
Oh well, no, he won't. So we play round 15.
He'll
I
play
think.
round 15. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 1 more week.
Jeez, it went by quick.
That's pretty
I
quick.
know.
6 weeks.
I
Oh no, Gold Coast are playing. Oh, so they must
they're
have a
playing
bye
this week, but then
yeah,
they
so
have a bye next week.
round 14.
So he'll play round 15.
Yeah. Yes.
because he's
Who they
suspended
play?
this round.
Freo.
Freo in Perth. Ooh,
Yeah, I don't know what
that'd be a
happens
game
there.
for them to win.
Yeah, that'd be one to prove them.
That's what I mean. I feel like with the Suns as well, you can't be struggling against St Kilda in Melbourne. There's a
No.
lot worse teams. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
better teams to be struggling against in Melbourne. And if you want to win a finals game,
And just before we get to the games of the weekend, nice one I wanted to quickly touch up on. So we had the mid-season draft last week. It was. There was a few players picked up. No, nothing too interesting from past players. I don't think there was many picked up. But what are your thoughts on a mid-season trade? I think we've spoken about it a little
I
bit
love
before.
it. I love it. I saw, I think Andrew Dillon had a meeting with all the teams,
Mhm.
and like, what do you guys want? What do you guys want to say more? And everyone came out with, the academies, like
Yep.
stopping the academies so much, or like,
Yeah, there's a lot. Can we pull that up, actually? Sharky, there's a list from all the clubs that had certain things that they were saying.
Yeah. Everyone's not very happy about the academies. Perth want their own gather round. Freo want their
Yeah.
list of all AFL clubs. Jeez, mate.
It might be on the AFL website. I don't know.
Yeah. From AFL teams. Anyways, I know that Freo wanted their own gather round, but in Perth, but like not to replace the Adelaide gather round. And a lot of them wanted actual like charter flights.
Yeah, they want like business class.
Yeah, well, because it's ridiculous how you could be going to Sydney
And then you get on the flight with
and you could be on the flight next to Tom Green, just sitting next to him. Like, what the fuck? So I think they deserve that. I think if you're going to start paying AFL player millions of dollars, they should be flying business or private, or maybe not private because it's a bit expensive. But and I did see one of them was, I think it might have been Essendon or someone else. They wanted to allow a mid-season trade clause to be in their contract.
Yes.
So they'll get paid a little bit extra to have a clause in their contract that says we can trade you in the mid-season, which then benefits the players as you get paid more. You might not get traded as well, but then there's the risk. It's risk-reward. You might get traded.
Yeah.
Might be a trade that you want.
Well, I don't understand why we're not. It just gives players more opportunities because, like, who's someone at the moment?
Rory Lobb.
Yeah, Rory Lobb at the moment. Let's say he wasn't yet played. He's now playing because of injury, but they get rid of Rory. They get rid of Rory Lobb and they send him off to a Richmond, and maybe either they get picks or I don't know exactly. They get picks or you get another player that the Dogs might need. But it just gives, I think, players more of an ability to be able to play. Like if you look at a Alex Sexton type of thing,
you don't want to play the whole year out in the VFL. A Matt Crouch from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Mark Pittonet at the moment. He's injured though at the moment, but you look at a team that needs a ruckman. So I don't understand why. I also think that and I think it's good because, and I think it shows how like Australians is like of the type of good nature we are, but I feel like we hold the players too much to they control their contract, not the club. Like you look at the NBA and the NFL, like you have no choice in if you're getting traded or not.
Yeah.
Like you can ask to be traded and it might take them 2 years for you to actually get traded.
Yeah.
You just don't play. But I feel like if you ask, like Rory Love's going to get traded. You ask to get traded, you're going to get traded.
Yeah.
So I feel like we hold a little bit too much of the contract to the AFL, into the AFL hands and the agents.
That's so true. And I also think that we hang too much shit on players that want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think in some ways it's good for the game that you have players like Lobb moving around because it gives some change. It could help. Like you see it in the NBA, people go from team to team. Yeah. Pat Bev, and he could be a key piece on a team for 1 year. Rory Lobb could play a key role on one team and then go play for another team.
It also makes for the one club veterans, the people that play one. It's so much better.
Yeah.
That there's so many like it's so rare for someone to play in like one club, one team in the NBA, but like in the AFL, you have like a few, like 10 or 12 come from every draft class.
It's like having your TJ McConnell. He's been on the Pacers for ages.
Yeah.
And then you have people that cycle through that want to play, want to prove themselves. And it
But
helps.
when you've been there from the bottom, it just makes it so much. Like, if you're a player that has played through thick and thin, like imagine when North Melbourne get there and they win a premiership or whatever, and you're a player that has been there, Harry Sheasel from the bottom.
Yeah.
Whereas a player who has been playing in the VFL that whole time and is all of a sudden you've got a game, it wouldn't feel as good because you haven't actually gone, like you've been there, but you haven't gone through it. But you can just go to another club and forget about that and play AFL.
Yeah, it's so true. And that's where I feel like also the mid-season draft could help teams like North, like unreal, like so much. Because there's so many players that are on the last year before a free agent that are looking to leave, but the clubs have an entire year to see how they're doing and see how much they want to offer them. And they always normally end up staying there because they're not getting a good offer after a good year of footy. But if you can have a half year of football and then North swoop in with a really good offer that they're open to, then it can help them out so much more than having to wait.
Yeah.
And North have the picks to be like, hey, we want this player. this player doesn't want to compete with you anymore. We'll give you some good picks
Yeah.
for this player. He's in some good form. And you know what that means as well is it stops that. I guess when you pick someone up in the offseason, you don't know if they're going to be good again the next year. You look at Gaff. What's happening to Gaff? Gaff's nowhere. But there's a bit of a random call, but it was just someone that was like Brownlow level and now it's just nothing. And I guess age gets to him and stuff like that. But it's something like that where it's like if you can pick up like a say Tim Kelly didn't want to be in West Coast anymore and he had an unreal first half of the season. North can swoop in, pick him up, and he's still good for the rest of that season. And he could come back in the next year and be not as good, but still have given that second half of the season very well. And that's where I feel like it can benefit teams that aren't as good to make them better. People are saying, oh, merge North, merge is shit. There's ways we can make North better without disadvantaging other clubs because they're getting stuff back. It's just making it an easier process.
I think we'll see it in about 2 years.
I really hope so. I really hope to see, and I hate to see it as well because you just hate when someone you like leaves the club.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you start to see more one-year players, you don't get as attached. You come to like the players and you come to leave the players and you're fine with it. So I'd like to see more. I guarantee you, not a single Western Bulldogs fan is like, oh no, Rory Love's leaving.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares. He was there for a year. So if I start to see more Richmond players, if you can come in and play your role for a year and leave, I'll be like, good on you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping. But yeah, that's my little spiel about that.
No, I think it's something that really needs to be added. But on to the weekend, starting off on Thursday night, it was Port Adelaide versus Carlton, and it was a pretty good game apart from the last quarter.
Yep. Carlton just absolutely turned it up.
They did.
I don't know. See, everyone's saying, I actually have a question for you. Do you think Paddy Cripps will poll votes in that game?
Oh, 100%.
Because apart from that fourth quarter, he was genuinely ridiculously average.
Yeah, but that was the same with Bond.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but
Bond will poll for 3. But Patrick Cripps, I think, will poll the 2 or possibly the 3 because I don't think it matters. From my perspective, I don't think it matters about how you play the whole game. But if you when it mattered, the best player showed up on the field. Yep. In the first 3 quarters, the best player could have been Sam Welsh with his, let's say, 30. He had 30 touches. I don't know exactly what he had in the first 3 quarters, but he might have had 30 touches, and he was the best. But Cripps, when it mattered, showed up and had 10 and 2 goals or whatever it was. So,
unreal.
If he has the 3, I have no problem because he was the best player. He won it when it was there to be won, and I don't know, was there anyone else that was up there with him? I don't think Kerno kicked too many.
Nah, I think that's
Yeah, so I don't think there was touches.
definitely helps with the win as well.
Yeah. So what do you have? He had 22 and 2, but still, I think he pretty much won
10 in the
game.
10 in the fourth with 2 goals. Sam Walsh with 34 touches and a good game throughout the whole game.
But yeah, when it was there to be won, Cripps won it for them. So
And that's spot on.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're Port there, far out. Like, what can you do? Like, Paddy Cripps kicking 2 goals in 30 seconds. It's like, geez, what more do you want from me? Like,
well, I question what Port Adelaide did was they Soldo started in the forward line, and who was it? Someone else, Mitch Georgiades maybe. Someone started in the ruck in the fourth quarter. I don't know why they didn't start.
Was it Finlayson?
Yeah, Finlayson started in the ruck in the fourth quarter. I don't know why Soldo didn't start. Like I said, the game was there to be won.
Yep.
And you're not playing your best ruck. So no wonder Carlton were able to just run out of that midfield. I don't know what the thought process there was with Soldo playing in the forward line and start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and overall, Port weren't bad.
No.
Carlton were just better. That was one of those games where it's like, I don't mind the performance that Port put up. Carlton were just better.
I mean, they shouldn't have been in that. When you're playing at home, if Port Adelaide want to be a finals team, they should have been up by 20 at halftime. Not down 3.
Have you noticed
that shows the decline between them?
That's so true, yeah. Have you noticed that Charlie Curnow just kicks the most nonchalant 3 goals a game?
Oh, it's just the most easiest 3 goals you ever see.
And it's nothing special. It's nothing like you look at and you go, whoa. Well, sometimes it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
just
I
a
feel like
marker,
this
just-
year is like, you just know he's going to kick 3 goals. Like this game, he had 3 goals, 9 touches.
But it's not a goal a quarter. It's 3 goals in a quarter that
Yeah,
changes.
exactly,
I think
yeah.
that there was a quarter. It might not have been this game. I think there was a game against the Gold Coast or someone I was watching. I think maybe about someone.
It was
Geelong,
Gold Coast, yeah.
someone like that. But he does it every week pretty much.
Mac Andrew.
He goes on this run where he'll kick 2 or 3 goals for the quarter, end the game with 4 or 5 goals. But
Yep.
he'll just have this quarter where for 10 minutes he turns into the most insane player. And I also think that he's one of the best kicks inside 50.
Yeah.
I've watched him for the last couple of weeks. He hits Harry Mackay on the tits, and then you watch Harry Mackay kick inside the forward line. He kicks out on the full. But like Kerno, he's a forward, so he understands what you want. Like you watch some midfielders, and they might kick it at the player, not to where they're leading to.
Yeah.
Whereas Kerno knows exactly where you want it, and I think he's a great kick. And I want Carlton to explore it a little bit more. Because I watch him on the weekend, he rolls around onto his right foot and he just hits people so hard.
Yeah, because that's the thing you kind of don't really see. Like, you watch the first 3 quarters, you'll be like, far out. Charlie Kerno's done fuck all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been shit as, he's done nothing. And you notice that's when Carlton are not playing their best football, is when he's not playing the best. And then he'll come out and kick 3 in the fourth.
Yeah.
And it's like genuinely nothing you can do about it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like-
he goes unstoppable for about 15 minutes.
There are games where you'll be able to stop him for 3 quarters, and then like some games he'll just be on for 4 quarters even.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the one game we could have saw a yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was. Saw like a genuine good tag that would have worked was Mac Andrew, and
Yeah.
then Dimmer was like, yeah, I'm gonna put you in the work now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just kicks the most nonchalant 3 a game, which is what I noticed. Like you see so many other players that are just so like not over dramatic like they're meant to, but it's like you know about it.
Yes,
It's like
yeah.
a Tex Walker. If he kicks 4 a game, you're like, whoa.
Tex had
Like
4.
Tex was like big up overhead mark. Jake Waterman 4 goals is like, wow, he was unreal on the field.
I think we've just come to know Kerno.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really the nonchalant part. I think it's just you just come to know that he's gonna kick 3. Like,
And shaping out to be one of the best
yes.
full forwards.
However, he doesn't kick bags.
That's true.
He kicks 3 or 4. I don't think this year he's kicked more than 5.
Yeah, I
And
saw
he's
some-
leading the cult. Like he doesn't kick bags.
Some stat where it's like 182 goals over 3 seasons or something.
So like he's consistent with it, but he does, yeah. But I don't see I mean, we don't really see bags anymore either.
Yeah, you only see
It's
bags
so
against
rare.
bad teams.
Yeah, it's so
or
rare.
random
like,
players kick bags.
Yeah, it's so
but the bag
random.
size is smaller. Like you saw Zach Williams kick 4, and you're like, that's a bag for
Yeah,
Zach
like 4
Williams.
goals. Like that's a good one. But
Dylan Moore 5 goals. That's
Yeah.
a bag for Dylan Moore.
you don't see blokes kicking
Jason
7 or
Dunstall
8.
kicking
like,
10 goals.
I think
you know?
the last time a 10 was kicked would have been against Tex. It was Tex against West Coast last year.
Yeah.
So it's pretty rare to see a bag.
Larky against
Yeah, against
Gold Coast in
Gold
that
Coast.
last game.
Yeah, which probably lost them highly read. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the Butters tag?
Thought they did well.
John Cotter's been pretty good.
Yeah, I thought Butters was pretty
Nullified.
nullified. Yeah, a great word to say it. I feel like he was there, but he wasn't there. I think Chincotta did a great job.
What did he have?
I think he had 24 touches.
No, did he? I don't think he kicked a goal either, did
I don't
he?
think so, no.
Um,
Well, I wouldn't know because this bloke's got inspect up for some reason.
I don't even know what
Yeah,
he did.
24 touches and a point.
Yeah.
Only had 5 clearances. Only 200 metres gained.
Mm-hmm.
4 tackles.
And Chincotta had a pretty good game himself as well, I think.
Yeah.
If we could see that, we would know if he had a good game or not. What do you have? Ooh. Maybe
Alright,
not.
just
I
keep
thought he
going,
had
yeah.
way more of the way. 13 a goal.
13 a goal. That's a tagger.
Um,
You take that.
I thought he had actually way more than that. I thought he played a great tagging role of making Butters accountable for him defensively as well. Because I think that's also part of the role of a tag. The tag isn't to shut them
Let him
down.
run
It's
around.
to make them be accountable for you as well.
Yeah. You don't want, because if you spend all your time trying to stop this bloke, then he's still running freely.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still doing what he wants. But if you can make it so that you're impacting the game as well, he has to look at you and go, fuck, I might have to actually match up on this bloke.
Anything else you wanted to add from that game?
No, I don't think so.
Friday night we had the Dogs versus the. Actually, who'd you tip in that game? Did we? I think we both tipped Port Adelaide.
we both
Actually,
tipped Port.
so we were wrong with that. So we started off 0-2 between us, and then we had Collingwood versus the Dogs, which was again I think a pretty thrilling game for most of it.
Yeah.
I think the Dogs did what they just had to do. I mean,
Fourth quarter.
they shouldn't have lost that. I think
No.
Collingwood is so underarmed. And when you have players like Bont and Trelaw and the forward line they should dominate. And it was Dacos for 3 quarters, and then it was
Bont.
Mr. Marcus Bontempelli for that 1 quarter, and he
Yeah.
just went absolutely crazy.
Yep. And even still had like just the whole game was just unreal.
Well, this is my thing about the Bont, and I think this tells you how good of a player he is that if Dacos does anything nice, we go, oh, how good was that from Dacos? He'll do a nice little spin move or whatever, and we'll go, how good. But Bont did a spin move at one stage in the game, and the commentators didn't say anything. They just go, Bont runs through the middle of the ground,
yeah.
pirouette, whatever. If that was Dacos,
I swear,
it'd be
that
on
was unreal.
Instagram everywhere. Everyone be
that's
talking
so
about it.
true, So true.
Because we're just known that the Bont is the Bont. And I think if he doesn't win a Brownlow, he's going to go down as the greatest player to never win a Brownlow.
Yep.
But he's just so good. And everyone glazes over what Dacos does. And the Bont does the exact same thing. And he just doesn't get the credit that he deserves. And then that
pretty sure-
fourth quarter, he just went crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was put up because there were the 3 players that had unreal games, and it was Adam Trelaw, Bontempelli, and Nick Dacos, and they put up the Premier Data. They do the career best games.
Yes, yeah.
I think it was one of Dacos's career best
Yeah.
games. Trelaw's one of Trelaw's career best games, and Bont's 16th
yeah.
or something like that career best game. It just shows he's been so dominant for so long.
Yeah.
And I saw that pirouette move and it was like, damn, that was nice.
Yeah.
And you just see if that was
Yeah, exactly.
Dacos, it's everywhere. That was Trelaw though.
That first half, he was pretty good.
He was unreal.
He was racking them. McRae
Honestly,
looked good as well.
Some playing all Australian season.
And he doesn't get
averaging
talked about.
35 touches.
Yeah, and doesn't get talked about.
Yeah, not at all. And he's, what is he, 31 or something?
Yeah, he's getting that. I was listening to him talk after the game as well, and he's obviously had all his mental health problems or whatever. And he was saying he's the happiest he's ever been playing football.
That's awesome.
And I think that just shows that when you're happy and you're having fun and whatever, you just so much more free to play and kick a goal and have 36 touches.
Yeah, literally.
And we don't really see Trelaw kicking goals either. So when he gets on the scoreboard, it's pretty good.
It's a good goal as well.
It was a pretty good goal.
Yeah.
I liked it.
More than just a set shot.
And then Dacos in that first quarter, though. What was it?
Tore it up.
Six
That
touches,
first half.
6 clearances, and a goal, and had 8 centre bounce. So
Did
he had 8 centre bounce attendances, and he had 6 centre clearances. He got the ball and just ran out of there, kicked a goal.
Yeah.
Only had the 6 touches, but they were very good.
6 touches and a goal with
he was important.
6
And
clearances is unreal.
No one went with him. And another thing I would like to point on, and I'm so angry about it, I was talking to a bloke at work on Thursday or Friday before the game, and I was telling him exactly what Collingwood does in their centre bounces, and I was ready to come and talk on the podcast and be like, they did the exact same thing. And then in our footy group chat, one of the coaches sent through that TikTok or Instagram reel or whatever, and they were talking about it. I was so pissed off. Because he stole exactly what I had thought about, and I had and sorry, I have receipts because I spoke to him about it at a bloke at work about it. But basically, what happens is the 3 midfielders. Say it's Pendlebury and Cripps, and they will push their player out, and Cameron taps to Dacos. So next time you're watching Collingwood, just watch what you'll see: Crisp, and Pendlebury or whoever's in there pushing their man away from the ball out of the contest, and Dacos will just run through. And that's what dominated in that first quarter because no one was staying with Dacos. And you could actually see Bont was pointing in that game. Bont was going, you need to go, but he couldn't get over because he was being blocked out. So that was just a little rant I wanted to have. I wasn't very happy that it got spoken about because I thought I'd done some pretty good, what do you call it? game footage analysis.
Yeah. Great pickup, though, to be fair. I've got to say this. When will we start tagging Dacos? Just everyone. I don't care what team you are. I don't care how good your midfield is. Tag Dacos.
Yeah.
You look at the Collingwood side at the moment. They are not good
They've
enough.
got no one.
If you tag Dacos, they are not good enough to win a game against Hawthorn.
Yeah.
They've got a VFL side out there. You tag. Not saying Hawthorn are bad. I'm saying these are the reigning premiers, mate. I don't know how. You beat Adelaide, all right? Well, let's just we'll hop off the down. When you get the camera on him, he's not very happy about a Hawthorn call. He's
wearing his Hawthorn scarf, to be fair.
He's loving his Hawthorn, his Hawks after the Adelaide win.
I've never noticed that. You're a 9-year member. Whose scarf is it? That's not your scarf.
I'm driving from the op shop.
Op shop purchase.
I got like 6 of them. I'm like a 7-year member, a 12-year member, then I'm a 1-year member the next day.
See, I got my St Kilda ones, but mine are true.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I've got my rich ones. You just know it's some bloke that's just, they lost by 100 and he's like, fuck this.
Apparently there are so many in the op shop. It's ridiculous.
Like after they became shit, they just got rid of
At
him.
the start of the season, there was so many.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
They
fair
probably put them
enough.
out, I reckon.
Were they cheap?
$6.
$6?
Resell those.
Bargain. Well, yeah, 2018 member wouldn't be that much value.
Yeah, no, you put like a 2016 one.
Yeah.
I've got in my drawer, I've got the 2015 Hawthorn Premiership jersey.
Oh, it's not
It's
bad.
got,
Any
like,
signatures?
it's got like all the no signatures, but it's got,
Imagine
like,
you saw their
it's
reunion.
got all the
Do you want to talk about that?
Give him the mic. let him talk
We'll
about
let
it.
Sharky talk about. He's got a bit of a story.
Oh yeah, so it's so weird having a mic. This is weird. My old man and my family went out to somewhere in Glenferrie over the weekend, and were there for the Hawks reunion, and they were in and amongst all the players, and yeah, that's about it. That's about it. But they were pretty chuffed, and they were telling me about it. And my dad now goes to the Hawks, so he was pretty chuffed. And my brother said that he was taking a bit of a leak, and then next to him was Sam Mitchell, and we'll just
Have a leak next to Sam.
yeah, no, having a leak next to Sam Mitchell. Yeah,
You tried to have an argument with him as well that it was for Jack Gunston's 250th.
yeah, no, I did have a moment where I was protesting that it's probably for their 250th, but who knows? Anyway,
All right, that's
can I-
enough
can I get this
airtime.
back to you?
That's
This is
enough
weird.
airtime for you.
You should have said to Sam Mitchell, just whispered in his ear, shouldn't have put Hardwick in the back line. Just whispered, what the fuck?
Keep him there.
Yeah, as I was saying, with Dacos,
Tag him.
if you tag Dacos, I think genuinely Bulldogs win by 50.
Yeah, I think Tag is going to come back. I mean, we saw Harley Reid get shut down.
And when he
Dacos-
does get tagged, he gets shut down pretty good.
Dacos was getting tagged technically though.
He was matched up on Treloar for a lot of the game, and Treloar had 37.
Well, no, Gallagher around the ground. Gallagher played on him. So his centre bounce, Treloar played on him, but then when the ball went around the ground, kind of like Chincotta style.
Isn't Gallagher a first year?
Yes, but Gallagher ran with him for the majority of the game, and he didn't in the first half. I don't think Dacos got more than like 2 touches around the ground. They all came from centre bounce when Gallagher was on him. So he got stopped around the ground, and then I think they dropped it in the second half. But yeah, I think tagging you got to tag the best player.
What was the Fremantle bloke? The greatest tagger in the.
Crowley,
Yeah, Crowley.
Yeah.
So I'm talking a proper
Kane
Crowley
Corn style.
Yeah.
I
like
think we're gonna see it. I think
you've
it's
got
a
your
real.
McGuinness, you've got your
Yeah.
Windhager, you've got blokes that can shut people down, use them, and I hate it because I guess it ruins individual talent,
yeah.
but it promotes some great team, team success.
Yeah, it also allows another player to step up as well. I guess.
Mm. And it shows that, like, even with a tag, you can tag someone and still be influential in the game. You see it so much. You see it from even Chincotta the other night. I just think you need to say it because if you can do what Windhager did to Harley Reid to Dacos, this game's not close at all. Bond tears it up, and maybe even training your star midfielders to be more defense.
I think though, the most notable thing to come out of the game was how much Collingwood or Craig McRae must hate John Noble.
Oh God, he must
Because-
have like slept with his wife.
I'm
or
sorry,
something.
a bloke that has 18 touches and he was just running off the half back, and you decide to sub him for. This is nothing against Will Parker, nothing against it, but he's a second gamer in a close game. Oleg Markov, I love Oleg Markov. He was enjoying the game so much. He was so funny. Every time they kicked a goal, he had fingers in the air, going, "Let's go!"
He loves it.
smiling, whatever. But like, why are you taking John Noble? He was looking so good. He had a couple of chances where he could have kicked goal as well, and he handed them off. But yeah, like you said, he slept with his wife. He did something.
I think it sucks because Fly knew he had to put Will Parker on for somebody, and I guess he was the one that when you look at a subbable player, Fly looks at John Noble.
But you didn't need to put Will Parker on. I feel like we look at it too so much that you have to use your sub.
Well, when's the last time someone didn't use their sub?
I would have been. I don't think it's happened this year. And I know Bulldogs didn't do it one year. But
Did anyone do it
it's
last
such
year?
a close game. Yeah, it happened a couple times last year.
Yeah, I
But
don't
when
know.
it's such a close game, it's just like you've picked your best 22, not your 23rd.
I guess, but I also think if you're going to select a bloke, I guess the whole point of a sub as well is the tactical sub as well, not just the injury sub.
But what's like again? I have nothing against Will Parker. But what's Will Parker going to do in a close game?
No, I agree with you, but I think when you look at the stigma of everything, I think it also promotes negative chemistry between you and the player. I think obviously you're also trying to see what Will Parker can produce.
Yeah.
Maybe promote him to 22 with their injuries as well. But having him as the sub and putting him on for 9 minutes is something. No, more than 9 minutes. He played the
Yeah,
whole
it was a lot,
quarter. I was thinking of Caleb Smith. I guess if you're telling the bloke he's going to play as well, might have a personal relationship with him. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot goes into it. I agree with you. If there wasn't such a stigma around it, you don't take Noble off.
Yeah. I think the sub is going to be gone anyway next year. All the teams want to get rid of it. They want an extra
The head
man on the
coaches
bench.
hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Because, like you said, it ruins a relationship between a player because you don't want to be the player that gets taken off, but you also don't want to be the person that tells the player you're getting taken off.
I hate the
Like,
I hate the
it just-
debut as sub.
Yeah, that's also something that really sucks.
I hate it so much. We can get into it later, but a prime example is Caleb Smith this week debuted for Richmond.
But
His entire
7
family
minutes.
came from Perth down to Melbourne to watch this game, and he played 9 minutes
Yeah.
of football. And I know there's the argument of, oh, well, the fact that he's even playing AFL football is unreal. But it's like, far out, man.
and the
Like,
poor bloke's going to go out there after the game and run laps as well
yeah, like
to get his Ks in.
with a Richmond style injury style team, you can let the bloke play more than 9 minutes. I don't think it helped
Yeah.
that we were in the game. I think at halftime, if we were down by 50,
Yeah.
you take Marlon Pickett off. You take Marlon Pickett off way earlier. Drop the bloke, Uze, please. So bad at football.
You can't drop him, though.
He'll probably stab our coach if we drop him.
You can't. Who are you replacing him
Yeah,
with?
we got no one. Just get Smith on. I don't even know if he's a wingman. I don't think he is, but just chuck him on. Try shit. Sonsi on the wing. We give it a go.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Nothing But Footy podcast. We have decided this episode went for a little bit too long, so we've split it into 2 parts, and you'll be able to listen to the part 2 of this episode in the coming days. Thank you very much.